All right, welcome back. We're going to talk about how to solve logarithms of different bases with our calculator. Most calculators that we use can only solve logarithms of base 10 or base e. So if you have a logarithm of base 8, unless you got a really fancy calculator, you're not going to be able to type that into your calculator. So there is a way to get around it. The way we're going to get around it is we're going to use this formula. It's called the change of base formula. What it does, it lets you rewrite any logarithm of any base into two logarithms using division. But those two logarithms have to have the same base. So since our calculator does base 10 and base e, if we want to use our calculator, we're going to rewrite them with the common log or the natural log. So here's what it says. It says for all positive numbers a, b, and n, where a is not equal to 1 and b is not equal to 1, if you got log base a of n, you can rewrite that as log base b of n over log base b of a. Notice these two logarithms both have the same base. So you have to make sure you use the same base, which we're going to either use base 10 or base e. So if we look at example 1a, we have the log base 8 of 77. So I'm going to use the common log. So I'm going to use base 10. So I'm going to rewrite this as log of 77 over log of 8. And now, since I have it into a format our calculator can do, I can plug it into my calculator. So let's take the log of 77 divided by the log of 8. It equals. So if you did it correctly, which you should be doing on a calculator while you're watching this video, you get 2.0890. And if you wanted to check this and make sure you did it right, basically we have this. Log base 8 of 77 is about 2.0890. What we could do is we could do the circle of life. So we could say 8 to the 2.0890 and see if that does equal 77. So I'm going to plug that in on my calculator. So I'm going to go 8 caret 2.0890 and see what we get about. And according to my calculator, it's about 77.0114. Remember, this is just approximation, so it's close to 77. So that's what log base 8 of 77 is. All right, so that's one way you can do it. Now, if you look at B, another way you can do it using our calculator is change it to a natural log, two natural logs. So on B, I could rewrite that as the natural log of 64 divided by the natural log of 16. And then let's type it in the calculator and see what we end up with. Log of 64, the natural log of 64 divided by the natural log of 16 is equal to 1.5. And if you wanted to check it, you can check it. So what this is saying is that you take, it's actually not even an approximation, it's actually 1.5. So instead of using approximation symbol, they can put equals. So I could recheck this if I wanted to. You don't have to check these, I'm just showing you. So you could have 16 to the 1.5, which is what? 3.5 is equal to 64. Is this a true statement? Or 16, you can rewrite that as 4 squared. So you got 4 squared raised to the 3/2 power. 3/2 times 2 gives you 4 to the 3rd, which is 64. So log base 16 of 64 is 1.5. This is what you're going to be doing today. It should be pretty easy an assignment. I want to see this step. Show this step. Don't just write the answer. And then I want to see the approximation. And then on the rest of the assignments, just review. So there's some more review problems. You're going to be using a scientific calculator. I think basically we are done with logarithms at this point, so we'll be reviewing next week. I believe, and taking the test over